I'm Steve with GoLex.com, and we're here today with Phil Truax, the Activities Director at Lexington High School. Thanks for visiting with us tonight, Phil.
You bet.
Really wanted to give people an update as far as what's going on behind us. The pride of the Minuteman here and with the football field doesn't really look like it's ready for play right now. Can you kind of update us as far as what's going on?
You bet. It's looking pretty rough right now. We don't want to, if we come out and play on this, we're going to have a heck of a time. That'd be quite a challenge. But September 1st is the date that we've been using. That's the date that Nemaha gave us when they accepted or won the bid and got the contract. And in speaking with our folks around here that are kind of got their hands in this thing, September 1's looking good. So right now, you wouldn't believe it, you know, that's about a month away, but once the rock work and the sub level is set, then they say laying the carpet is a pretty quick process.
So what was the main driving force of getting turf here at Lexington?
Yeah, good question, and the functionality. We had such a beautiful field, and that can be attributed to Bo Berry, who's our head of maintenance, but especially he kind of delegated the field work, taking care of that, to Nate Sund and Steve Schaffner. And those two guys babied this thing, and because of that, we had a beautiful grass field for the last decade or 8 years or whatever it's been. And so we've been very fortunate. And so it was hard for us to say, really, we're going to get rid of a field that's this nice and this soft and this well taken care of. But it comes down to functionality. In order to make a grass field look nice, you have to baby it, and that means you're not supposed to be on it very much. You know, you can only be on it a little bit. You don't want people stomping around on it early in the mornings, and you don't want people out there when it's wet or if it rains. And it was, we have so many groups that would like to be on our field, be that band, be that football, be that youth sports, be that soccer, be that PE department, that when you go to turf, you can be on it when it's wet, you can be on it underneath the lights, you can be on it every single day and it's not going to wear out. You can, it's safe, it's durable, it's functional, and that was the big, I mean, we have a huge band and a successful band. We have an awesome football team with a rich tradition. Our soccer team is just having more and more success every year and really just been a source of pride for our community. And so being able to have I don't know if I'd say state-of-the-art, but a very nice artificial turf field that puts us on the same level as many colleges and Class A high schools in the state was something that our district wanted to make a commitment to.
I'm glad you mentioned all those other groups. So the plan is for all these groups to be able to use it on an everyday basis? The band, the football team, the PE, and even the soccer in the fall or in the spring?
That is correct. Yeah, Steve, that's our plan. Our football, the plans right now, and trust me, we don't even know what we don't know yet. We're going to need to have this thing for a year before we iron out all the different scheduling details and who all wants it. But just in conversations, football wants to practice on it a few times a week. Now, they play on, half the fields they play on are going to be grass, so they'll still want to utilize their grass practice fields too. But they'll practice out here at least a couple times a week, and that's not going to be a problem at all. Band wants to practice on it every morning, and we're excited to let them practice on it every morning. We've been so, you know, Chad and Spencer, those guys do such a great job, but we've kind of let them on there once a week, maybe if they're lucky. And so now they can be on it every day, and so they're definitely going to utilize that. In the spring, you know, having track and soccer out here at the same time is going to be a little bit of a coordination, but we are 100% committed to having both of them use it as well as they can together. There might be a little bit of time sharing. There might be a little bit of you guys have it this time, we have it that time. Right. There's going to have to be some cooperation involved, but absolutely both those groups are going to be able to use it in the spring, unlimited. We want our youth programs, our Unafoot soccer program, which is run through a club group here in town, our YMCA, our CFI, our city group, City of Lexington youth programming. We want to give them all access to this to use on weekends, after hours, you know. Lexington High School and Lexington Middle School is going to get first priority on the field as far as our events and games and whatnot, practices. But after that, then we're really committed to letting the city and other youth groups around here use it.
So what can fans expect when they come to that first home game? I believe it's September 9th against Norris, if I remember right.
Yep, you're exactly right. That's the first varsity home game. And we do have a couple lower level games scheduled for before that, and we're keeping our fingers crossed that we're going to get a play right out here. But that first varsity game, it's going to be exciting. This turf project was paid for by our district. By and large, I'm going to say 80% of it if not maybe even more, was paid for by our district. We footed the bill on that. And we were lucky that our board has been so responsible with managing money, and that our superintendent was supportive of activities and athletics to kind of push this project through. So our school district was able to pay for it. However, we have had some donors. We did Lex Give Big for about 3 or 4 years, maybe even 5 years. Yep. And so over the course of time, we've had about 30 to 40 people donate. And so we'd like to bring those people in and get them involved in being a part of that first game, and kind of as a thank you for them to trust us that we were going to use their money and get something done. It took us a while, but we finally were able to get it. And so it's just going to be an exciting night. We've already talked to Norris's AD and said, hey, you guys are going to be the first varsity game out here. So they're talking to their fans about, hey, that's going to be an inaugural game. So we want to treat it special. We want the fans to feel excited about it. We want to fill up both sides of this place and make it as exciting as we possibly can. So more details about some of those things will be coming out as we get a little closer, but we certainly want to make it a big deal when we get to play out here for the first time.
Coach Rowan, I hope, has a plan already for the soap scrimmage.
He does, yeah. We've talked about that. Coach Rowan and I spent a lot of time together this week going to a coaching clinic, so we visited a little bit about what Plan B is if we're not able to. And they said, hey, maybe you guys will be able to get on there by August 19th or mid-August, but they don't promise that, so we're not planning on that.
Gotcha.
So we have some options for what we're going to do, maybe with that soap scrimmage, that might involve fans bringing their own chairs and things like that at a different site. But it'll be there's going to definitely be some growing pains, and especially early here, there's going to be some nooks and crannies that we have to figure out, that we might stub our toe on a couple times. But the end result is going to far outweigh any of these little inconveniences that we have going into it. So we're super excited about it. But yeah, fans, we're going to need to communicate well. And that's not always my strong point, so I need to make sure I'm doing a better job of getting the communication out there. But fans need to pay attention to some of these details early, as there might just be a handful of little changes going into this early part of the season.
So it's Lexington on both end zones, is that correct? And then we're putting the Lexington L in the middle, right?
That's exactly right. Okay.
And it's also, like we talked before, we're already talking soccer, so it's already be marked for that?
Absolutely. Soccer lines will come to about within, you can see where the track ends and the edging begins on that field. It'll come clear to that edging. So when we play soccer games out here, most likely we'll probably lay some mats down on this for lane 1 in our track, so we don't have accidental, getting things chewed up here in lane 1. But yeah, full-size NFHS certified, good to go soccer field. So.
Great. Something else that I've noticed is both end zones are concrete all the way in now. The plan is to asphalt that?
That is exactly right.
For the high jump areas?
Yep, for the past, who knows, 20, 25 years, we've had this one high jump area, and it's worked great for us. We've been very fortunate to have that, but because of just some weird drainage issues, we had a slope over there that caused the approach on the high jump to get weird if you come from a certain direction. And so now we fixed that, so now there's no slope over there. This one also doesn't have a slope. Once we get them with asphalt on each end here, we'll have the ability to jump with the wind, which is what high jumpers want to do. Nobody wants to jump into a stiff wind. And so we'll be able to have, for our meets, have an option of where we want to jump. But then also during practice, we bring over, a few hundred, not a few hundred, I guess. We bring over 100 middle school kids to practice over here, plus our own 100 high school kids. So when you're talking 60 high jumpers, you want to be able to have a couple different areas. And so we'll utilize both these for high jump. So we're happy to be able to have that.
Great.